I know that probably isn't like a good idea to make a video on um, it's personal information and all, and I don't think that anyone really cares. But in the past, talking about it has helped, and talking about just my issues in general has helped, and posting it online has been good for me because people support me sometimes. In one of my other videos, I commented on how me and my ex we broke up, and the way I deal with a lot of things is I suppress them for a considerable amount of time, and then it all bottles up and becomes something that I fall into um, like a crevice over. And I tried convincing myself that I was happy that we broke up, that it was for the best and it wouldn't have worked, but I'm not really happy. It's been around 2 months since we broke up, and I miss him. I do. I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of change or anything, but I try to suppress it all the time. I try to stop change wherever it can be, and the biggest form of change is when your entire life plan gets messed up. And I never thought I would love anybody like I did him. I always thought I would just be happy alone. I once told my mom that I would never marry anybody because I just didn't want to, and he was the first person out of all of my other romantic interests, you can call them, that I actually wanted a future with, that I actually looked at and said, I want to marry him one day. And now that's not going to happen. And it also sucks because when I feel like this, I revert to old habits, like harming myself, and I haven't harmed myself yet. I don't want to get back into that, but wanting to harm myself is just the digging the wound deeper, because he was the first person I'd go to when I felt horrible, because he always would understand and make me feel better about it. We talk for hours, and it just felt like he made me happy and I made him happy, and I felt worthless without him. I see my brother, I'm very glad that my brother is happy. I'm very glad that he found someone that makes him finally not lonely, and that he is glad in his relationship. But I feel horrible about it, but I feel like I almost feel jealous, because when I'm around him and his boyfriend and we're all hanging out, it feels empty. I don't like his boyfriend or anything, I mean, I like him as a person. He's a cool guy, but I don't like him like that. I'm not in love with him or anything. I don't look at him and feel anything like that. But I'm jealous of what they had because of what they have, because I feel like it's reminiscent of what I used to have, and that's makes me sad. He'd be there to pick me up on all my bad days and slow me down on all the good ones, the really, really good ones that I do not need to be so fast. I didn't need to be so happy and energetic. I didn't need to be so violent. And he helped me. He made sure that I understood that I wasn't being watched or that I wasn't some god. But he didn't do it in a way that everyone else does. He didn't do it in a way that makes me feel pathetic for feeling like that. He would reason with me and have me understand that I was fundamentally wrong and that I did need my medicine. He was all I had. When it felt like everyone was against me, he'd tell me that at least he was there and that I always had someone. That no matter what happened, he was there. I wish he was still here, you know? I mean, I never saw him in person. I never even got to hug him or hold hands or just shake hands. We never had that because he was close. He was just one state away, just 5 hours. That was all it was. It wasn't like an entire road trip. It was just a little bit. He was so close yet so far, and now he is much farther. I think when I first started the medicine that I was originally on, I didn't like it because I thought that it meant, because it was a mood changing medicine, that it meant that nobody could love me if I wasn't on medicine. And I think I recall him telling me that he loved me even if I wasn't on the medicine. And I'm not sure though, I don't really remember. It was so long ago, and I'm not the best at remembering things, but I know that he said something when I was feeling like no one else was there for me, that he was there, that no matter what I would know that he loved me. And sometimes I think if he still watches my videos and what he thinks. I doubt it. I doubt that he would do that because I want to think that it's also hurtful for him that I meant something to him and us no longer being a thing. I like to think that it hurt him as well because if it hurt him, that meant that he really did care. But it also means that it hurts me more because if he did care, then I ruined it a lot more than I thought I did. Because, I jump to conclusions a lot. I like to think of the worst in people. So I'll think that, he never loved me or that he didn't want me at the end of our relationship. But that's dumb. He did care about me, and I did care about him. He could have, he could have, he could have, he could have had anybody. I mean, he was stunning. He was one of the most amazing people you'd ever lay your hand, lie your eyes on. His voice was soothing. His laugh was amazing. Every small thing, it was just felt like heaven on earth. It was perfection. And I feel like he made me happy. That with him I felt like I could be something more than what I wanted to. That I didn't have to just be some kid who died at 15, but I could be anything. I just really, really wish that didn't mean that I could be without him. And I hate myself for it. I blame myself for a lot in that. I noticed towards the end of the relationship, I noticed this with a lot actually, that I talk a lot. People really just kind of agree with me or disagree with me, and yeah, they can get their takes in, but usually it's me talking about how my day went, me talking about what I want to talk about. And maybe if he talked more, I would have more to remember. Maybe if we talked for 10 minutes longer, that I would have heard his laugh one more time. That I would have knew he loved me one more time. He loved Loki. Was one of his favorite Marvel characters. My brother got a Loki shirt and I can barely look at the thing. I still like Loki as a character. I think he's an interesting character. I think he's awesome. But I can't help but look at him and think of him. The Long Walk, too. That's one of his favorite movies. Well, he really liked the movie. We watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 together. It's one of the first times I actually almost not I cried at multiple movies, but it was one of the moments that I actually almost cried at a Marvel movie because he did. He cried at the movie, and I guess I felt vulnerable around him, not in a bad way, like vulnerable in the way that you need to be. I didn't have to bottle everything up, that I could express myself in a sensitive way without being judged for it. He was the love of my life, and now he is just a TikToker that I'm friends with. We don't talk anymore. I haven't sent him a message in 2 months. My last message was me apologizing for how it ended up, our last conversation. That was a pretty nasty argument, at least for what we had argued about before. And sometimes when I go to my profile, I'll go to the chat place. I'll see him there, and I've seen that he's seen my message. He hasn't responded to it, but that's fine. And I know that he thought of me at least one more time after we broke up, when he read that message. Maybe he scoffed at it, called me an idiot in his mind, and decided that, good riddance. Maybe he, I don't know, maybe he cried. Maybe he reminisced. Maybe he thought about texting me back and just decided that it was better off leaving it where it was. Maybe he's watching this video. I don't know. Maybe he watched my other ones. Maybe he watched the Juggernaut review and clicked off because he thought I looked stupid, or clicked off because he hated me or couldn't bear to look at me anymore. Maybe he watched the entire thing. Maybe he watched my review of the of the Opera figure, and he got surprised with how much I hated it, because I mean, if you know me, I fucking love action figures. It's one of my favorite things, and he knew that. I would tell him every time I got a new action figure. And now that I have, with the ones I've gotten recently, I don't have anyone to tell anymore. I'll look at it in my hand and I'll be like, wow, this is awesome. I wish I could share this with somebody other than my YouTube channel, or somebody who mattered to me on a deeper level. Someone who would have conversed with it No one really cares about People Playground in my life. I mean, sure, my mom and my dad, they listen, but they don't really care. My brother doesn't listen to it either. But when Nova's Interactive Avengers mod came out, he was. It was like it's like he had the game. It's like he was waiting for it too. I mean, he was more ecstatic than I was. He said he'd watch my videos almost every day. Maybe he laughed at them, smiled. Now I just wish that. Now I wish that he watches at least one, and that it's all ignored how everything ended up, and that it's back to how it used to be. That he'd boot up one of my reviews and look at me talk about the figure and smile when I smiled, laugh. I don't know, play with his hair. Comb his hand through his hair like he used to do. He'd have to use his headphones. I wish I could just call him one more time and have that text being, okay, yeah, wait, I have to get my headphones. We talk for like an hour or two, and I could tell him about what's happening in my life. Finally let him talk about what happened in his. Tell him about all the action figures I've gotten. Tell him about all the mods I've downloaded. Tell him about the advancements in the Marvel mods. Tell him about my characters. I used to love my characters. Talk about them for 30 minutes or something like that. And he liked hearing about them. He read my books. We were supposed to go and do an aquarium. Or do something together. For our first date. It was supposed to be his birthday. I think it was September 25th. I think so. He loved jellyfish. And otters, walruses, Highland cows, cats, puppies. He liked anything that breathed that wasn't a human. He'd look at a blobfish and call it adorable. He'd think that he was the most negative person alive, but the way he sees the world, it's like the most majestic thing ever. Any animal could get him. He'd fanboy over it. He'd act like he was a god that I just loved all of his creations. And he sent so many gifts in our chats. Or GIFs, I don't know. That, it was almost like I don't know, like a kid showing you his cute little drawing. He had so many. And eventually you begin to find what they meant, what he was trying to convey. I don't remember it, but we had like a small little language. He set up some things, gave me a vocabulary to understand. He loved winning. So victorious. He'd routinely text me like animal noises, and I went back and forth with trying to figure out any animal noise that he didn't get. And whoever ran out of animal noises, they lost. He won most of the time. Maybe sometimes I do let him win. I just liked seeing him happy. He'd beam with joy. I once said that if we ever did meet in real life, I'd probably be too nervous to say anything, but now I think that if I even look where I know he is, I'm too nervous to say anything. I know his accounts. He's on TikTok, Discord. Pretty sure he's on Reddit too. I could text him. Not on Discord, he has me blocked, but on TikTok. I could send him an actual text message. I don't know. And sometimes I stare at his TikTok chat between him and me. Not even just because I'm waiting for him to say anything. I'm just trying to muster up the courage to say something. Anything from hey to an entire chapter's worth of how I'm doing. I want to pretend that we never ended. Just maybe, if I pretend, he'll go along too, but that's impossible. One of my favorite things about him is that he cares about himself. If if you're hurting him, he'll make sure to get out of that. And I don't think I'm hurting him, but he's not just gonna, you know, let it go like some kind of fairy tale. So we're not just gonna reach out after 2 months of not a single word. He hasn't even looked at my profile until yesterday, I believe. I've avoided his content because he used to say how he hated how all his exes would look at his profile all the time. You know, like they were stalking him, and I don't want him to hate me, even if we'll never talk again. I can't bear the idea of annoying him. I don't want to be the person that he looks at that viewed his profile and he recoils in disgust. I don't want him to tell his friends that I'm looking at him again, because those might have been the same friends that he used to speak wonders about me. I mean, he told me once that he talked about me so much that his friends just were done with it. Told him to shut up and all. I mean, we said I love you like almost. It was either 1,000. I think he had two accounts. One on his old ex's account because they were already through and he was just using that email, and one on the other account. On the other account, we said I love you like 1,400 times, something like that. And then on the old account, I looked at it and we said I love you, I believe 14,000 times. I don't even think I've texted anyone else that many times. I don't think that I have texted Discord in general that many times. More than half of my messages had to be to him. And now none of them are. Sometimes my friends do dumb shit. Like, that's so fucking stupid. Yeah, I could tell my brother, but he always jumps to, oh, they're the worst person alive, you know, you should stop being friends with them. And I want to tell him, but I can't. Even if he didn't have me blocked, think of how it would look if we had a breakup and I just show up one day and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna rant about the things my friends did. I'm gonna ignore that it's a possibility you don't even love me anymore. It's not even a possibility you don't love me anymore. And I expect you to just, sit there and listen to me about how my friends were stupid? Selfish from me. I mean, yeah, I want to get back together. I want everything to be okay, but he made it very clear that he did not think that we could do that. That he couldn't bear it. That there was no forgiving this one. And I understand that. At the end of the day, it was a no, not miscommunication. It was a misalignment with relationship morals. One thing I thought was okay, he categorized as cheating. And I still feel bad, you know? Because I still don't think it's bad. Well, yeah, I do. When we broke up, I was what I would call manic. Maybe not fully, but I was getting there. Because shortly after we broke up, I got into a large manic episode. I'm talking hours of degeneracy and just the most out of character thing. And I know that's not an excuse. But I just wish I wasn't. Because maybe if I wasn't, I would have never kissed my friend on the cheek. That never would have happened. That there would be nothing to get mad over. And maybe I wouldn't have to had made this video today. Maybe we would have talked in the last 2 months. Maybe he would have said, "I love you" one more time before we hated each other. Maybe I wouldn't have to think that he hated me. Maybe I wouldn't have to imagine him disgusted by me trying to check his profile. Honestly, I don't know why he checked mine. I don't. I'm at a blank. I don't post my face, so he couldn't have showed anyone to me. I mean, that he couldn't have showed me to anyone on a physical standpoint. Maybe he wanted to show, like, my profile, but I'm not sure. I don't know why he would ever look at my profile again. There's no reason to. The only thing I could think of is that he wanted to see if I still kept the profile picture of a Beast Boy and Raven. It was one of the matching profile pictures that we had on TikTok, and he loved matching profile pictures. It was so awesome to him. I still do. I tried to change it when I saw him looking at my profile because I thought it is weird. Because we're not dating and I know that. I think it's just that I'm lazy. It's been that for months. I should have changed that. I tried to. But the thought I tried to use wasn't enough. It wasn't big enough. And it feels like he's not a real person anymore. It's like he was a character. And what I miss most about him is how real he was. How even though he was 5 hours away, it felt like we were close, because I was closer with him than I was anybody that I could touch. Our calls were more than a hug or a handshake or holding hands. Felt like he was there, and that's what I miss most. The knowledge that he was there. 'Cause without him, I'm lonely. And I don't like being lonely. So I apologize for anyone that didn't want to watch a 16-year-old cry over a lost relationship. Sorry to anyone that was just subscribed to me to see me talk about small plastic men. You didn't want to see me talk about a real one. I'm sorry to him. I don't know if he's watching this. Honestly, I hope he is. Because I like the idea that he still watches me. He probably doesn't, but it's comforting. And I'm sorry that if this is overstepping the boundaries of an ended relationship, that this is too public, that I shouldn't have made this video, I'm sorry. But it was this or a piece of glass, so goodbye.